We spent most of the day today checking the wires, wondering if and when the news would cross that Platner had indeed decided to end his campaign. Are you surprised he hasn't yet?
I'm not surprised. I feel like he and his team are true believers, and they don't want to just give the nomination to just any Democrat. They really believe in disrupting the Democratic Party, and so they either want to stay in it to the bitter end or ensure someone of like mind is in that spot, and that's why they're trying to hold out and see if they can try to force the state party's hand. And so this might be a game of chicken between now and Monday, which is the deadline for him to quit if he has to get off the ballot.
Right. Well, I saw your column yesterday in Washington Monthly. If Graham Platner won't quit, Democrats need to quit him. Bill, it appears they have. We can list the ways. Kailey mentioned Bernie Sanders, Ro Khanna, just about everybody who's made tracks to Maine and was apologizing at one point for Graham Platner has withdrawn the endorsement. Why would he have any say in who comes next?
I mean, as a literal matter, he has to quit to get off the ballot under Maine law. They can't literally force him off. And now they're doing pretty much everything they can to force him off.
Does he have the leverage to cut a deal?
The only leverage that he has is that he can say, I'm not going to leave unless you do what I say. That's the leverage that he has. The leverage that the rest of the Democrats have is we're not going to give you any money, which is what they basically said. Now, there's one thing that the other Democrats haven't done yet, which is to say, Graham Platner, if you stay on the ballot, we are going to find someone else to run as a write-in. And under Maine law, they have until August 25th to file as a write-in. We're going to find somebody else to get behind and not. So don't think we're going to suck it up if you stay in and say we have no other choice. We do still have a choice. That's the one card that hasn't yet been played yet.
Well, so considering Platner's cards is one thing and the decisions that Platner will have to make in the days ahead. But what about the decisions that many Democrats made prior to this in standing by him, not in the face of these specific sexual assault allegations, but in the face of the controversy around his past social media post, his tattoo of a Nazi symbol, allegations of toxic behavior in previous romantic relationships, including the one with the woman who is the victim around these allegations, which, again, he denies. But what does this say about other Democrats who were backing him, Bill?
Well, considering that most have at least gotten to that place today, if we're going to compare Democrats and Republicans, we have a president of the United States that was found liable for sexual abuse in a civil trial, and he's president of the United States, and almost every Republican still backs him. Now, I grant, and I've made this argument myself, I thought Democrats were not being principled in sticking with him up until yesterday because the red flags were really burning your eyeballs. But I think you have two camps of Democrats there. One are the hardcore, diehard Platner supporters that felt we need him. He's indispensable to the cause of change in the Democratic Party, and we can't sacrifice him. And then there are other Democrats who waited until the primary vote last month and said, well, if this is what Maine Democrats want, then who are we to say no, we got to suck it up and be team players here. And the absolute red line that almost no one's willing to cross is credible accusations of rape. I mean, there's just no real acceptance of that, except for the very, very small few at this point. So at least those are being vocal, unless Graham Platner tries to force the issue and say, it's me or nobody, let's see where you stand now.
Got less than a minute left then. Bill, have Democrats lost Maine?
I mean, Graham Platner could still be forced out. He could still quit. Someone with a clean slate could get in there. Susan Collins' favorables are not good right now, and it's a blue wave coming across the country. Every data point we have says that. So I don't think it is lost. I think Graham Platner would lose if it was him. The party has to find a way to unify and make the race about Collins again and not about Graham Platner.